All right, guys, talking about the most forgiving irons for 2025, and some of these have been out for a little bit already, but if it's forgiving, it's forgiving, so we're going to talk about it. And we'll hit these today, Nick, probably in the order they were launched. Some of them, again, like I said, are new this year, but we'll start with one that has been out for a little bit, and that is going to be the Titleist, the T350. Some of the technology in there, and then you can tell me what you look about it. But really, the entire T series, they've got this split tungsten. They've got the most tungsten really of any irons out there. And by positioning the tungsten out in the toe and the heel, that helps them to increase the MOI and make just a very forgiving iron, especially on those mishits. So they're obviously going to be a little bit bigger than probably what you have in your bag. But tell me what you think.
Not too bad, even though for as forgiving as iron as it is, the top line isn't grossly overwhelming. Looks really sleek club for how forgiving it is.
And yeah, I would agree with that. Well, it's got a pretty thick sole, which is good because then on those heavy shots, it's not going to want to dig as much.
Right.
But they, again, hide a lot of technology in a small package with a pretty thin top line. I would agree with that notion.
Yeah, definitely looks nice.
So as we go through, we'll take a look at some of the numbers, and we're going to see probably the biggest difference between the two. And maybe those need to be in your bag. Might be a good start.
Maybe. Take it.
There we go. Keep doing that. But the number I really want to focus on is that top left, is the launch angle, because some of the irons that we have here are going to be higher launching, higher lofted versions. Some of them are a little bit more on the stronger lofted category as well. But again, one swing in, obviously the result was good. Give me your thoughts as far as feel.
Felt
sound.
great.
Okay.
I think I kept that one pretty center, but yeah, it felt really good. Didn't feel like I really needed to go after it to obviously get the distance. I just hit it, so
yeah, and
that's always a
I
nice
would
feel.
agree. Again, solid feel. So for a hollow body design, feels like a pretty solid one-piece construction. And the times I've hit it.
Yeah, definitely not tingy or kind of that airy feeling.
Yeah. Sure. I'm going to take it away from you because you're not going to do any better. So let's move on to the next. And again, this model launched in the fall, but it's always a great one for us, and that's going to be the JPX 925. In particular, we are hitting the standard hot metal, so it will be a little bit on the stronger lofted side. But with their core tech technology, basically it's the milling on the inside of the face. It's almost like a keyhole design. So we're seeing on these hollow-bodied irons now, not just from Mizuno. There is some internal face designs, just like we see in the drivers, to help with ball speed on the off-center shots.
Yep. Definitely looks a little thicker than the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Still pretty decent top line, but a little thicker than the last, a little more offset.
Yep, agreed.
But just always a nice, really nice looking Mizuno.
Yeah, Mizuno certainly makes some awesome irons. It's going to be, a little bit bigger than your MP series for sure. It's designed for a distance iron with max forgiveness, and like you said, a little more offset than the T350. So let's get a swing on that guy and take a look at that launch. So you're 17 on the 350. Okay, how's the strike on that one?
Not quite as good as the last one.
Not quite as solid. Saw it start a little bit straighter, and then obviously overdrew a little bit more. So definitely expecting the launch to come down a little. Yeah, maybe what? 2 degrees.
Yep.
So not as clean of a strike, but ultimately, again, from 200 yards, if you miss it a bit, you're in the left bunker. Wouldn't be the end of the world for most golfers.
Well, so this could always be good things for some distance.
Let's do one more. And I'll say, mentioning the spin.
That's a good ball.
There we go. See where that guy ends up. That one might be too far, but right on line.
Definitely long.
Should be one of the longest ones out there. Launched it even at 14, so we're launching it a little bit lower. And what I will say is Mizuno's done a nice job with the 925. Many prior versions, I would say, the JPXs, they tended to spin a little bit lower just because as loft comes down, we tend to see that. They did a pretty nice job of maintaining higher spin for the stronger lofts in the new 925.
Yeah.
Well, let's move into some stuff that has a little bit of a higher loft and that are 2025 product. Or just launched in 2025, maybe is the way we should say it. So first one we're going to hit will be our G440, always a super forgiving iron from Ping. Probably the thinnest sole, especially whenever you get back into the kind of this heel area. So a little bit more of a taper from toe to heel, preventing the heel really from catching in some heavier stuff. Usually a little bit more on the offset side, although these don't look too bad. They've reduced some of the thickness of the face, so a 9% thinner face, which means faster ball speeds, and then that's just weight saving markings, which they can then redistribute throughout the club. Got the latest generation of their Pure Flex badging in the back, so it's not just a chunk of plastic. There's actually some technology in that rear badging, which just helps with shock absorption, vibration dampening, and again, similar story. It's just another way to make a hollow-bodied iron feel solid.
Yep. Maybe slightly smaller top line than that last one, the JPX.
Yeah, I'd agree.
It's about the same offset, but overall, for what it is, it's still looks really nice from the top.
Yeah, I'd say generally a little longer blade length compared to the JPX.
Yeah.
They've made that a little more compact in recent years, but thinner top line, as you mentioned. Now, I would expect to see these probably launch a little bit higher. We'll find out. So that one, just pushed. So I definitely would expect to see a little bit of a higher launch on that. Yeah, got that one up to 16. Yeah, let's get one more as you hit it as well. And then what's cool with the pings, granted you can go stronger or weaker, but they do a power spec or a retro spec option really in all their irons. So you can order these specifically with a stronger loft gapping if that is what you need, or retro goes the other way and even adds a little more loft to help you hit it even higher. That one looks pretty high, drawing back nicely as well. And yeah, launched at 16. So both those launched at 16. The one that drew back, I mean, honestly, perfectly onto target. And then even that one that you left out to the right. All right, last up. That will be the new Elite, and in particular, we are testing the Elite X from Callaway. So there's 4 irons available in the Elite series. We've gone with the X here today because it is the most offset and the widest sole of the entire line. Now, it is also the strongest loft. So again, if you're a low ball hitter, the X might not be the one for you. They do have an HL in there, but because this one is the biggest sole, most offset, I am going to call it the most forgiving strictly because of that. So it is designed really for distance, probably the biggest of the bunch we've tested today.
Yep, definitely bigger all around. Really nice look to it though. Still like it.
Yeah, aesthetically it's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the thickness is hidden with a little shorter blade length. I think a lot of manufacturers have gone to that shorter blade length in recent years. It at least gives it visually a smaller look than it maybe really is.
Yeah, nope. It definitely looks like it's forgiving and long, so let's see what it does.
So they've got their tri-sole design in this as well too, which is basically just some relief from the leading and trailing edge, just provides better turf interaction going either through some heavy stuff or if you do catch it a little fat, it helps to make those shots a little bit more forgiving. You still launched that at 16, so you've been pretty much hanging right around there.
Yeah, I will say that was it wasn't the greatest strike, and
it would have been a pretty good result.
Turned out pretty dang good.
Absolutely.
So definitely would take that on the golf course.
And then with their AI 10X face, basically depending on the model, they just specifically engineer the face to go along with what that model's designed to do. So the X will have a slightly different face than the Core, than the HL. Again, just depending on, is it a high launch, is it a distance iron, whatever the case is. But we've got really 4 pretty awesome irons here, and you really can't go wrong with any of them. If forgiveness is what you're looking for, one of those is probably a good one to test out. Just a matter of, do you need to hit it high, do you need to hit it low, do you need more offset, less offset? And obviously GOLFTEC's the place to go to figure that out. So what you need to do, if you're in the market for some forgiving irons, log on to golftec.com and find a local coach near you.